Now we're seeing this happening in the nation of Mozambique. Mozambique prison break. Election edition. What happened in the nation of Mozambique? What happened over there? And today we're seeing the nation of Ghana holding elections. We're also going to be talking about what to expect in the Ghana elections. Now, before we talk about the prison breaker, this is what would happen. This statue here would be removed. Now, why did the statue of Alberto Chipande get kicked out of the protest? The answer is because it could not stand up for itself. Simple question, why did the statue of Alberto Chipande get kicked out of the protest? Because it could not stand up for itself. What significant is this statue to Mozambican culture? And what does this mean, this signify?
Bro, abre como muita água.
Ya, muita água. A polícia meteu muita água. Aqui ninguém vai passar aqui já.
In one of the scenes, we're seeing this. A bus is bent. And then the protesters would order all the toll gates to be opened for free entrance. We see the statue being brought down here. Now, this statue that has recently become controversial in Mozambique is of Alberto Chipande, a significant figure in the country's liberation struggle and senior member of the ruling Frelimo party. The controversy surrounding the statue stems from the ongoing political unrest and protests following the disputed presidential election held on 9 October 2024. Many citizens believe that the election results were fraudulent, leading to widespread demonstrations against the Frelimo, which has been in power since Mozambique's independence. Now, we see some disturbing scenes from a Mozambique prison there.
Querem tentar recuperar alguns prisioneiros. Olha esse jovem!
Venancio Mondlane asked his supporters to keep protesting against what he calls fake election results. And he thinks that if the protests continue, the ruling Frelimo might agree to negotiate. He is currently in hiding but believes the protests may need to last for months to make a difference. Violent clashes. The protests have resulted in violent confrontation with police causing at least 73 deaths and many injuries. Human rights groups have criticized the police for using excessive force, including live bullets and tear gas. The prison break incident. Now, the prison break incident. Protesters reportedly broke into one of the largest prisons in Mozambique and freed many inmates. And now this shows how serious the protests have become and the desperation among demonstrators challenging the government. Now the question is, will things get better or they can only get worse? If they get worse, what's the worst that could happen? And after the worst, when would they get better? Government response. The Mozambican government has reacted by cracking down on the protests. Hundreds of people, including minors, have been arrested. More than 3,000 people have been arrested. The government has labeled the protest as acts of terrorism and warned that there will be serious consequences for those involved. We see international reaction from human rights organizations condemning what is happening in the Mozambique, the SADC nation there. They are calling for investigations into the violence and accountability for those who used excessive force against the protesters. We see a scene, a bus being torched, a prison being broken into, a statue being brought down. All this happening in a single day in the nation of Mozambique. Now, 7 December 2024, the nation of Ghana is holding elections. Now, Ghana, the situation of Ghana is a little bit different in Africa. Ghana has established itself as a beacon of democracy in West Africa with a history of peaceful transition of power since the return to a constitutional rule in the year 1992. The electoral system is characterized by a dual structure comprising presidential and parliamentary elections which occur every 4 years on December 7. The electoral system, presidential elections, the president is elected through a first-past-the-post system requiring more than 50% of valid votes for victory. If no candidate achieves this, a runoff election is held between the top two candidates. This system has been criticized for fostering ethnic politics as parties focus on securing majority votes from specific regions, often marginalizing minority groups. And then parliamentary elections, parliamentary representatives are elected through simple majority vote in their respective constituencies. This has led to a political landscape dominated by two major political parties, the New Patriotic Party (NPP) and the National Democratic Congress (NDC). Historical context. If we go back to the year 2008, the 2008 elections were pivotal in Ghana's democratic journey. The presidential race was notably close, with Nana Akufo-Addo of the NPP receiving 49.13% and John Atta Mills of the NDC garnering 47.92%. In the first round, a runoff would be necessitated due to the lack of an outright winner. The runoff is held on December 28, 2008, where Mills would win with 50.23%, and this would mark a peaceful transition from Kufuor's administration to Mills' leadership. Then, in the 2012 election, the subsequent election in 2012 would continue to showcase Ghana's electoral maturity. The Electoral Commission managed to process efficiently, ensuring transparency and credibility despite some tension surrounding the results. The NDC retained power, with John Mahama succeeding Mills after his death in office. The Ghana election hasn't been without its challenges and criticism. Despite its success, Ghana's electoral system faces challenges like ethnic politics. The majoritarian system incentivizes parties to mobilize ethnic support, leading to potential political exclusion and conflict among minority groups. Electoral integrity. While generally viewed as credible, allegations of irregularities have surfaced during elections, necessitating robust mechanisms for conflict resolutions and transparency in the process. Now, what should we expect from this election happening in the nation of Ghana? Big up to everybody who is watching us live right about now. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live right about now. Bear with me, guys. My network is playing up. My network work, right? So please, do bear with me. Network actually with a kilobyte by kilobyte, kilobit by kilobit. So at least you alright 1 megabyte per second, at least. Big up to Tishman watching us live there. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live. To those watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat that I can get your name so I can give you my shout out. Bear with me, guys. The network here is not behaving well. I don't know what is happening here. Is it that the hardware cannot handle or something else? Now, the Ghana situation is a little bit different from the countries we saw holding elections recently in Africa, the nation of Mozambique and the nation of Botswana. Ghana has over 18 million registered voters, and there are two presidential candidates. One, Mahamudu Buwamia from the New Patriotic Party, NPP. John Dramani Mahama from the National Democratic Congress. The election occurred amid a challenging economic backdrop, including Ghana's first ever sovereign debt default and rising unemployment. These issues are central to the campaigns, with both parties focusing on economic recovery and governance reforms. Incumbent President Nana Akufo-Addo is term limited, leading to a contest between Bawumia, his vice president, and Mahama, who previously served as president from the year 2013 to the year 2017. Tensions and predictions. The political atmosphere is marked by significant polarization between the NPP and NDC. They are concerns about potential unrest due to mutual distrust in electoral institutions like the Electoral Commission and the judiciary. Polls predictions suggest a tight race. Some forecasts indicate Mahama may secure around 52% of the vote, while others show Bawumia close behind with approximately 41%. If neither candidate secures more than 50%, a runoff will be necessary, reflecting Ghana's competitive political landscape. The NDC to perform well in regions like Greater Accra and Volta, while the NPP is anticipated to dominate in Ashanti and Eastern regions. The performance in these areas will significantly influence parliamentary seat distribution as well. So let us watch as the Ghana election unfolds. Ghana is rated as the most democratic, one of the most democratic nations in the African continent. In the African continent. All right, Tishman, I'm going to put my number there. Then you can text me. I think if you try to write your number there, it may not write. So you can text me there. All right, only time will tell what is going to happen in the nation of Ghana, but we are hopeful for a peaceful election, as a peaceful election anywhere in Africa will be a positive to us as Africans. With that, I do sign out, and may God lead the people of Ghana through a peaceful, free and fair election. Dr. Clarence, TV7 Live Africa.